Bonjour à tous. Welcome back to our very special lesson about French politics, society, and culture. Well, in the last session, we have talked about some peace and riots. And in this session, we are going to talk about a very common phenomenon that we can see in modern age French street manifestation, which is called barricade. So this is a very typical French-style popular insurrection. Well, I would like to begin this session by playing a sort of a word game and to distinguish people from peuple, from popular to populaire. In French, we have a word, populaire, but the word populaire in French means something that belongs to the working class. It refers to the mass. So this word, populaire, refers rather to grassroots social classes. So it means that something which is circulated or preferred by the mass, by the lower social class people. Well, and the second word, we do have peuple in French. Well, the word peuple in French do mean people, but there is something more in the French word peuple, because in the French word peuple means people that belong to the lower social classes. So it also means fool. So between populaire and popular and people and peuple, there are something very different between a French and English word. So especially these two words in French, populaire and peuple, there is something in common because they all contain a specific connotation in French, means that something belong or preferred by the lower social class. So please don't confound populaire with popular. If you said that something is very populaire, well, the people, for example, if you said that a song is very populaire, well, the French singer might not be very happy, because if you said that his or her song is very populaire, means that his or her song is preferred by the lower social classes. So these two words, populaire, popular, peuple, people, these are two typical faux amis, fake friend in English and in French. And the second word that I would like to discuss with you is the word pavé. Well, the word pavé simply means those carved stone which serve to pave the way in Europe. So if you travel in European city, you might see that in many old city, old town, those roads are still paved by these pavés. And these pavés, these stones, these carved stones, are used as weapon when peasant or citizen riot or uprise against the ruler. Well, in 1588, the first barricade appeared in France. Well, that happened within a riot against the King Henri III, because as usual, there are financial problems for the royal family, and there are also religious fights within the nobles. So this is the first time where we see barricade on the streets. And here in this painting, you can see the King Henri III, and the background of the painting is the street fighting that happened in Paris street. We have to remind you that Paris wasn't so beautiful in the 19th century. Paris in 19th century are full of these small streets, and which is very, very dirty, and they might not have paved the way. And well, historians tell us that why there was no barricade in Paris in the very famous big revolution of 1789. Well, the reason is very simple, because the barricade is for defending against the army attack. Those riot peasant or citizens, they have to create barricade in order to defend themselves. But in 1789, people are on the offensive. So as you can see on this painting, that people attacking, but there was no barricade, there was no barricade on the street. 1830, those citizens of Paris, they uprise against the king Charles, which is very unpopular. So you can see that people using everything to construct barricade. They use those stones that they pick up from the street, and they throw everything from their house, their furniture, their waste thing, and they threw everything into the street in order to create those barricades, in order to defend themselves against those government army. So you can see that in various paintings, you can see the same thing, the barricade, those stones, and people, those citizens, uprising citizens against those government troops, and those citizens defend themselves behind the barricade. So everybody know very well this scene, because so all of you, everyone in Taiwan, you have seen the movie Les Misérables. So this scene is the typical barricade in Paris when people uprise against the ruler and they will have to protect themselves. And 1848, Paris citizens, they uprise against the king, and they create the Second Republic. So you think that things happen again in the same way. They threw everything onto the street, onto these little streets, small streets, in order to create barricade, in order to protect themselves during the fight. And so in the late 19th century, we have photos where you can see several barricades all along the same street. And in 1871, there was a riot because the emperor was defeated by the German king. So the emperor was in exile. He fled from Paris. So there was a sort of empty political power in Paris. So at that time, French communists, they organized a riot. They create trench, they create barricade, and they want to create their communist paradise to realize their dream about communism in Paris. So this here comes to the end point. In the 20th century, in 1968, there was a demonstration which lasted for several months in France, especially in Paris. So you can see that this barricade is really in the DNA of French people. Whenever they uprise, they automatically will construct barricade with the carved stone that they collect from the street, that they dig out from the street, and they overthrow cars, like the way they overthrown those horse wagon, right? You have seen in these painting previously. So these actions are all integrated in the DNA of French people. Whenever they uprise, they automatically create barricade to protect themselves. So this is the topic for today. And as usual, these are references that I have used for this session. Until the next session, hope you to stay tuned and hope to see you next time. Au revoir, à la prochaine fois.